Yes, it's good to see you again. Oh, okay, I'm not saying it. Sorry about that. I take that back. Yes, it's good to come here again to talk to you once again. Let me take a deep breath. How have you all been? It's so good to get feedback from people that you don't even expect that they are going to view your podcast videos, and they'll come back giving you positive feedback, even constructive criticism feedback where they think you should improve on, where they think you need to work on better rather than just doing things as you think you should. Like I used to tell people that there's every time they say that you'll be doing something wrong for a very long time and nobody would tell you. And the fact that I could get feedback from people was actually very encouraging for me. There are times that you feel, can I really do this? Well, am I sure I'm doing it right? Am I sure that I'm getting the right people. I'm speaking to the right people. I'm speaking to their mind. It's not enough for me to just come here and do the videos without making any impact. There must be an impact. I want to get the I want to. It's not just an impact, the positive impact, and these feedbacks keeps me going. And I'm very, very, very grateful. I'm grateful to everyone that has said one or two things about this podcast so far. This is our fourth episode, right? And it's been a very impactful one. People have learned. I've had people that have spoken to me on building their career, on clarity of purpose, and it's a very encouraging one for me. I've even received feedback on how to improve on this podcast, and it's like I said, I'm very, very, very appreciative. I thank you all for staying with me, grinding with me. It's still going to be a very long journey, so you have to keep going. You don't stop pushing with me. Thank you. So you're once again welcome to the Purposeful Professional with Oluwaseun. This is where we design careers, where we build executive in presence and shape high impact professionals. The major goal is for us to make sure that we are not just working, but we are working with a purpose, right? We know where we are going, we have a goal, a focused goal, and we keep pushing. So what am I talking about today? Um, I'll be talking about titles and career growth. Before I proceed, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Oluwaseun Fanakewa. I am the strategic HR working with a manufacturing company. I've been with manufacturing in the manufacturing world for quite some time now, and it's been a very great journey so far. I'm still moving, and yes. So I'm here to give back from the experience I've had so far. I'm here to give back the little that I think would be very helpful to you and I in this corporate world. So now talking about titles, I'm talking about career growth. One thing I've realized is most of the time we misplaced title for career growth. We think when we earn big title, we are growing. And um often than not, I've seen that that is not usually the case. Even though titles is a part, or title, getting a big title could be a part of career growth, but it does not actually translate to career growth. Do you understand? So I'll give you an instance. I actually had an interview for the role of warehouse officer some time ago, and somebody actually applied. A fresh graduate who has little or no work experience, and as at the time of the interview, fortunately for him, he had worked with it's a smaller company, a similar company, but in a very small capacity. And but guess what? The title that he was given, a warehouse manager. working in that role as a warehouse manager. Now, if you get carried away, you will not apply for the warehouse officer role, because if you feel, me, warehouse manager, I will now come to that level of warehouse officer. What will I be doing? Me that people are reporting to. I will not be reporting to other people. How? No, 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 no. That's the demotion. And that's with that, he may get lost in his career journey. He may get lost because he had not even learned before taking up that role. Now, what do I mean? You know that we all know that when you occupy a role, that role comes with capacity, it comes with responsibilities, it comes with influence. When you are unable to carry the responsibilities that comes with this role, you find it will be difficult for you to find your feet. Now, when they bring you out, like my dad used to say, um, how will I say this? For those of you that understand Yoruba, I'm sorry, please, for those of you that understand Yoruba, so my dad would say, Olójú kan tó ń jọba nílùú àwọn afọ́jú, a one-eyed man that is a king in the community of the blind. Now, if you remove that one-eyed man out of that community and take that person to where people can see boldly, people that have two eyes, will they still be king? How? It's not possible. So you, okay, we call them local champions, right? You when you think you're somewhere and you have arrived, and because of that title you get carried away, and you're not getting the required knowledge you should get, you are not adding value to yourself, you get lost in between. I'm sorry, it will be difficult for you to go back on track and start building. Before you know it, time is going. Before you know it, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you'll be like, what have you learned? I usually tell people that it's possible that you have years of experience of doing nothing, and you would think you've actually been doing a lot. And it's very, very, very possible. Like we've seen this for those of us that we recruit, we interview here and there. You we see this. In fact, where you can be misled mostly is on LinkedIn. You see a lot of package profiles. You see a lot of package titles. And this. You see somebody that would say, and the business analyst. I'm trying to structure that word so that you will understand what I'm trying to say. But come on, go to LinkedIn. When you see profiles, fear will catch you. Trust me, fear will catch you. But by the time you meet with these people, you will not see that they only have titles, no substance, no content. They don't have content to deliver. They don't have the substance that's commensurate with the title they carry. You cannot just wear the badge without having um the substance that goes in line with the title that you carry. It doesn't work that way. And before you say Jack, you see that you're already stagnated. When your mates are already moving, you're just like, why are they doing this for this person? Why are they doing this for this person? Okay, so let me give you an instance. You work in an organization where, as at when you joined, the life cycle of that organization just require you to be uh require that they bring in HR, and because they didn't want to like expand how would I the HR thing so much, or they didn't want to spend so much, they could the life cycle of the organization as at that time does not require that they have a full-blown HR team. Okay, then you join, and then I say you are the HR manager, and because they say you are the HR manager, you've actually had very little experience, let's say 1 year experience, or as of course, we all know that the rudiment of HR starts from the administrative part. You must learn the documentation and everything. And after 1 year, you may think you have arrived, forgetting that HR is a very long journey. We keep learning on the job, right? Now, because of the administrative activities that you engage yourself in, then you now join the company and they call you HR manager, and it gets into your head. Then you forget to learn. You forget to master your craft. You forget to improve on your competence. You forget to add value to yourself. Then the company, all of a sudden, they needed there's a change of strategy, there's a need for expansion, and while there's a need for expansion, there is a need to have the HR, a full-blown HR unit that can carry the full weight of the new new what will I call it now? The new reality. Then at that time, you now notice that they were not trying to fix you on one role. And it was difficult because they looked at what you've done so far, they looked at your capacity, they looked at your credibility, they looked at your educational, like the former educational background, they look at what you've delivered so far. You know, it will not be difficult for them to say they didn't want to demote you because of the human part, right? They will be like, if we demote this person, won't it affect? Won't she frustrate the system? It will, of course. We are all human, right? But then they cannot allow you to maintain maybe even a senior HR officer role because they know what you carry. You cannot even act as HRBP because you did not go through the process. You know, it's a process. You didn't go through it. Now, what does that tell you? The company had already outgrown you. Then maybe you now worked there for 3, 4, 5 years. Then you now start saying, I'm the one that started this HR unit. I built it. I'm giving my all to this company. I was very loyal. I was easy. Forgetting that loyalty, my sister, my brother, does not build career growth. It doesn't. What builds career growth? Have you actually been doing things that will build your career, or you've just been fantasizing, you've just been enjoying the you've just been enjoying the euphoria of the title that you have? Just look at it critically. So now that takes me to the impact where we look at what are the things that actually build career. You know, what do you need to do to grow your career? What are the required efforts for you to grow your career? While you are enjoying the title, are you truly building your career? These are honest questions that you need to ask yourself, right? I'm somebody that I'm so high on learning. I'm so high on I don't like I, I won't say I'm not contented, but I don't get carried away with my comfort zone. I commented on a LinkedIn post recently where somebody talked about comfort, and I said, see, comfort zone is a killer. It's a killer of career. Comfort zone. When you're too comfortable, you forget that there's something you're building. And unfortunately, that's what title does to you. It makes you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed, you feel you have arrived, you feel you are there already. And you are not there. You still have a long way to go, right? So I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. Now, if you have to build your career, what's the number one thing that you should do? You see, this will always come up. I talked about it from the episode 1 to episode 3. That's episode 1 where we talked about career identity, episode 2 where we talked about professional branding, episode 3 where we talked about modern professionalism. Now, unfortunately, this particular tip will keep resurfacing. It will always resurface in everything we do because that's the foundation of every professional um, that wants to build a career, even an entrepreneur, right? Even as a business owner, is the foundation. That's like the starting point. You're starting from level zero, then you now take it up. That's the starting point. It's applicable in every aspect of life. It's applicable in every facet. It's applicable in every cycle of your career, right? And what am I talking about? Is your competence. Before we even move to competence, there has to be clarity of purpose. You must know where you're going. I think I discussed this a lot during the episode 1 where we talked about career identity. If you have not seen it, I would advise that you quickly go back and watch that video. It's on our YouTube page. You can quickly watch it and understand what it means to have clarity of purpose. You must have a defined goal. You must know where you're going. It's not just about I get a job and they okay, what job are you looking for? They said I should come they said you should come and, at times when I would forgive that time where maybe when we are seeking admission into the university and we fill the form for a particular course, for our choice of courses. Some of us don't even know why we chose those courses. That's what I've realized. Because when you're asking questions, for me, when I have interview, I try to not to make it a tense situation, because I want to learn from you. I want to listen to you. I want to understand where you're coming from. At times we find it difficult to really express ourselves when there's too much tension. So I really want to come down to your level, have proper conversation, and understand how you start from here and how you go here. I'm always very, very fixated on it. So now when I ask some people that why did you choose that course? And they'll be like, That's what they gave me." Okay, let's accept that the school offered you this course because that was the available courses at the time that was suitable for your scope. Now, what have you made of that course? What do you think you can do with that course? What do you think you can deliver? Like, have you thought about it? Like, what's the future? What happens after school? What do you intend to do? What's that plan? That's where the clarity comes in. Sitting down, asking yourself some critical question. What do I need to do? Okay, I'm studying this course. How do I make this course? How do I use this course to make a life for myself? Life after school, you know. And I've noticed that so many of us don't even have that purpose. We don't even know what we are doing. We get carried away. I'm in school, I'm a big girl, Even during service, a lot of core members, have you engaged them? Engage core members, engage graduates. You see that they don't even know what they're doing. And it's quite unfortunate where we are going to, you know. I would like to encourage you, for those of you that you are still in school, for those of you that are serving, that may be listening to me, I'd like to encourage you, have a honest conversation with yourself. Okay, I've studied this course. What can I do with this course? Can I build a career around it? If I cannot build a career around it, okay, what else can I do? What's that skill that I have? What passion do I have? What's that you can build on? Every skill is scalable. Every skill is scalable. It's just for you to have the right information, the right resources, and try to work on it, build on it. And you see that before you know it, bit by bit, you're already there. Now, that takes me to the competence part, right? You cannot grow a career if you don't have that niche. If you have not mastered your craft, if you don't know, if they cannot say this is what Oluwaseun can do, this is what Oluwaseun can deliver. I don't know, maybe you understand me. You cannot. There's nothing like what do I say? Um I'm building a career, and they say career around what? Okay, career around HR, right? Then they now ask you some question. Okay, let me start. Okay, I want to be I'm a HR professional. I'm building my career on that. Then they now ask you few questions about your career, about that profession, about that job. Let me even leave HR. I think I'm talking too much about HR. What's the simplest job I can think of? A customer service. I want to be a customer service executive. But currently, I'm in front desk. I'm sure so many of you don't even know that front desk is scalable to customer service role. Front desk is scalable to customer service role. It depends on how you work on it. Now, then I ask you a few questions, then you're like, I don't know. And everybody's like, you don't know. So what are you doing? There's nothing like I don't know. What information have you gathered about this career? How what's the depth you have on your profession? You cannot be an operation person or somebody that is in supply chain, or sorry, I'm talking about these roles because these are the roles that are around me, because like I said, I'm in the manufacturing world, so these are the roles around me. You cannot be in somebody in supply chain or somebody in oilage and transport or logistics, and you don't have depth of your job, of your role. You are playing with fire. You know, when there are complex problem around that room, can you solve them? Can you? When there's a need, how do you even know that the system that is in place? Okay, I hire you to be what's that role I can think of? Okay, I hire you to be a HSC personnel, and you come in and you just said, because that's how you met a system there, because that's how they've been doing it, and you just continue. Why do you continue that way? Were you able to identify gaps in the system and improve on it? How would you even be able to identify gaps if you don't have the depth of the knowledge required for that role? There must be competency depth, right? You must go deep. You must keep learning. You must keep grinding. You must ensure that you know knowledge is. You are not trying for every opportunity you have to learn. You have to learn. Like there's this saying that I usually say: you learn before you learn. You don't jump before you leap. You have to learn first. It's a process. Life is a process. Life is a process. It's a process. You must learn before you start earning. The earning comes with the title. The earning comes with big compensation. The earning comes with big benefits. But you must first of all pay your dues by learning. It's really, really important. It's not something that you just throw away and you feel you just want to. The title is here, then you get carried away. We as attractive as a title is, it can mislead you and it will let you forget the basis, which is mastering your craft, improving your competence, upskilling where there's a need for you to learn new skills, pick up new skills. I'm a data analyst and you ended there. How many businesses can you analyze for? As a data analyst, how have you been able to um what's even the largest data set you've worked with? Have you learned the new functions? Have you learned the new apps? Have you even integrate AI into your analytics skill? Have you? Not even in this current world where AI is everywhere. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So you have to ask yourself these critical questions for you to know that, okay, I think I've learned enough. And unfortunately, learning doesn't stop. You have to keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. As long as you are growing, you learn as you grow. You don't stop. Is it comes with life growth, you know. It's something that you have to keep doing. Now, the second question, by the time you've been able, or the second factor you should look at while trying to grow your career is if you have mastered your craft, you've groomed yourself on your job as you're still doing, are you using the competence or the skill that you have acquired to add value? How well do you create value in that environment you have? What kind of value are you bringing to the table? Like they used to say, what value do women bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? We bring our lives to the table. So come to the corporate world. What value are you bringing? Are you saving the company money? When they talk about cost reduction, cost effectiveness, they'll tell you, ask this person. She's going to give you strategy on how to reduce the cost for the company. Ask this person has ideas on maximizing the profit. Is it even about process improvement like I mentioned earlier? Ask this person, yeah, I'm sure he will tell you the better way to do this and we will achieve better results. How are you improving efficiency in your role? How are you improving efficiency in the unit that you have found yourself? Or are you just coming and following instruction as they tell you, go and do this because they know you have the competency. Okay, go ahead, just prepare the payroll, and you keep using Excel. You did not even say, okay, I think there's a better way we can do this. Right? Let's move from this level. Let's start making use of some payroll softwares that can deliver and is quicker and is more efficient and there are little or no mistakes. Like you have this information in your head. Are you thinking of the outcome. Okay, this outcome is not good. Like I had some conversation. I had a conversation with somebody in the quality control um world unit, and I was saying, when you join a team and you meet and you see what they're doing, do you think beyond outside the box? Like, do you think beyond what you've met that okay, how can I make this process better such that I'm going to reduce the cost and improve the outcome? Is a critical skill, is a value. How are you able to influence your team? How are you able to drive decisions? How are you able to align people? How are you able to say that let's do this? And you are able to influence them. How are you able to get people buying? How are you able to have cross functional collaboration in that organization? Okay, so now let me take it out of the I want to I want to I've thought about because I've acquired the skills. I know that I need to carry out an initiative. I'm trying to think of the simplest example I can give for you to understand what I'm saying. Okay, I talked about data analysis, right? As a data analyst, I need data from the production team for me to be able to develop a dashboard, right? Where they can always input their reports and it will give like a real time report to the management. Yeah, now you need to work with people. You need to work with, first of all, the head of production. You need to work with each unit team lead or shift supervisors. But here you are, you cannot even talk to them. You cannot even explain what you want to do to them. You are unable to even communicate clearly to them for them to even understand. And you want their buy-in. How do you think you are going to get that? How do you think you are going to achieve that? Ah, it's a bit difficult where you cannot influence. It's a bit difficult. You, we HR, we learn something. There's something we like that. When you want to achieve something, when you want to roll out a new initiative, mostly in change management, we look out for the influencers in the company, the strong influencers, because those are the people that you are going to use. It's politics. These are people that will help you to talk to people that will help you to drive your initiative. If you are unable to now influence those people, there are people that are in the see, they are there. They may not, in fact, the funniest thing is they may not hold high position. They may be the person that you least think of, but they carry that influence. That if you're unable to get their buy-in, that's your initiative is dead on arrival. Is dead on arrival. So what it means is, even as a child, you must hold some level of influence that you will be able to drive your initiative. If you're unable to do that, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. I can tell you for a fact that influence is what separate managers from leaders. A leader would influence. A manager would rather instruct and be shouting, "Do this! I ask you to do this. You are being insubordinate. You are not listening to me. You are disrespectful." But a leader knows how to influence every member of his team to achieve the business goal. And that is where you see that it's a ladder. First of all, you you acquired the skill. First of all, you acquire the competence that you need to do the job. So you start growing. By the time you have been able to acquire the skill, then you move a step ahead, then you start adding value, right? You start creating value. You start making impact. Okay? Making high impact. You start working on improving the process that you need. Now, by the time you move from that, you you know with that you've been able to gain people's trust. That's how it works. That's how it works. Sorry, you've been able to gain people's trust, and because you've been able to gain people's trust, they can entrust some things in you with you. And if you have been able to gain people's trust, you must be able to now like capitalize on the relationship you have, that trust that you've gained. Now start to use it to influence decisions. You start to use it to influence decisions. That way, you will be able to now drive decision. You'll be able to allow people, come, join me, let's do this together. please come. This is the vision. This is what we are trying to achieve. This is the deliverable. Can we do this? Let's do it together. If you're unable to do that, you'll be stopped. You just need to see that. In fact, it's going to even limit your visibility. You may be visible, but there will be some kind of limitation. There will be some kind of limitation. So now, after you have been able to influence people, you've been able to drive people to achieve a common goal, then you now start building your reputation gradually. You start building your reputation gradually. Now they can say, the people can say, this is what you are known for, right? Because when opportunities come, I should be able to say, I know you, I know so person that can do it. It is what you have done over time. It is what you have done over time that has made me to that has formed that what will I call it? That has made me to realize that, or that has given me this um apologies, that has convinced me that yes, you can deliver on this. This is what this person is. I can close my eyes and say that this is what this person carry, you know. And do you know what's so funny is when you are chasing title without building substance. When you keep chasing title without building substance, it leads to career stagnation. I think I mentioned that earlier. It means you have this aside career stagnation. It also makes you have it makes you have imposter syndrome. There's no how you will not feel less of yourself. Okay, so for instance, when you you are with people that are well grounded in that profession, when you start talking to them and you observe that things that they are saying that you cannot even say, there are things that they can do that you cannot, and you both hold the same title A B, right? I have two welders. This welder, because you have been with me for a long time, you've not grown, you are not learning more. This new other welder has also been with me, but he has acquired more knowledge. He has added more value. He has thought of how to reduce cost. He has said, okay, instead of we replacing this, he can fix it. He's adding value. When it's time for me to make decision for higher role, for the promotion, not I pick welder B. Also, when welder B is saying I can do this and you don't even have an idea, you look lost. That imposter syndrome will be done on you that, oh boy, you know nothing. And that's the problem with titles. Because you keep chasing title without building on the substance that you should have, without improving on yourself. And it's a problem. Also, there's going to be when they get now take you from, let's even assume that they are not saying when they move you from one row to the next row, there will always be offer because the higher role will require you to some responsibilities. And when it's time for you to deliver, unfortunately you cannot. That's poor performance. And now there's a change of thought. They're having a second thought that have we not made a mistake? I'm not sure is the right person for the role. Another thing that I used to say is title will get you into the room. Title will get you into the room. However, the substance is what will determine if you will grow in the room. Okay. Now, what am I trying to say? Let's assume that I want to carry out an interview and you send me your CV, a well packaged CV. You've done this, you've done this, you've done this, and we interviewed you. You prepared, so you smashed the interview. After you now joined, you have every other thing. You are culturally fit and everything. Then after you join the company, we notice that what you proclaim that you know, you don't know. The knowledge you proclaimed that you know, the self-acclaimed the knowledge that you claim that you have acquired, you don't even know it. Then we start thinking, are we sure that we've done the right thing? I'm sure some of you can actually relate. You don't let your LinkedIn profile, don't let it deceive you. Don't get carried away. If you need to learn more, learn more. If you need to do more, do more. There are things that are not taught in school. There are things that are not written in the book. There are things that you learn on the job. There are things that you have to go back to improve on yourself, right? I'm sure when you're in school, they do not tell you that you communicate with clarity when you start working. It's not something that is everywhere. They are only teaching you the technical part. However, when you know that if you fall behind on some things, you need to improve. It's something that you just have to be honest with yourself. If you I've done that to myself over time, over and over again, and I'm not going to lie. I've once picked up a role because I needed to learn with the team. I admired the team that was in that system. And I know that working with them will make me to be better than what I was. So, and when I joined them, I was always open to assignments because I know that once they give me a task, I'll go back, go and study it, research on it, and because I want to deliver. And when I want to deliver, I don't want to just deliver. I want to deliver with excellence. I want to deliver such that they will not say, "Shame, you did not do this." Even though they say it, I will know that I actually put in effort, and I'll say, "Okay, no problem. I will quickly go back and fix it," and I'll go back and fix it. Do you understand? Be willing to learn first. Be willing to pursue your career before you start pursuing title. Be open to growth before title. You see, that title, it will later come with the growth. It's natural. It will later come with the growth. You don't have to be in a hurry. It's something that will come and you would enjoy it to the fullest. But when you are busy pursuing title first and you get carried away, you are going to get lost on your career growth. And unfortunately, you will think the title is the growth. But that is not what it is. That is not what it is. So what do you need to do to build your career? Focus on your capability before title. Focus on your capability before title. Build measurable values. Make sure you can measure it. Make sure you can track it. Make sure you can they are documented. Track your impact. So you start making impact. So you start adding value. Let it be well documented. Track it. Then increase your visibility. Don't just be adding value and keep quiet. No. Let people know what you're doing. You don't hide your contribution in any organization you find yourself. You must keep saying that this is what I've been able to do. Sir, I was able to work on the um power usage and I've been able to reduce it from so percentage to so percentage. Your sustainability values, this is what we've been able to achieve so far, right? So far, I've been able to excuse me, utilize the lean management to integrate the lean management into our process, and this is what we've been able to achieve at the end of the day. Track it, document it, then be visible to. Then, lastly, always think of long term. If you have crossed paths with me during an interview, there's a question that I ask every now and then. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know why I'm asking? I need you to start working towards where you see yourself. Not now. Even as you're taking that title, that role, think of this is where I'm seeing myself. And because this is where I'm seeing myself, I need to do more. You need to increase your depth, your knowledge depth. You need to increase the value you add. I need to do more. In fact, I need to wear it. I need to start dressing like it. I need to. These are things that comes with career growth. They don't just happen out of the blues. Now, so I would rather say that instead of asking yourself what title do I need, do I want next, you should ask yourself what capability do I need to build next? What capability do I need to build next? Titles can open doors. However, they cannot sustain you in the realm. What will sustain you is your competence, is your value, is your influence, and your reputation. This is what builds a career, not a title. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for riding with me on this episode of Mokoso Professional Evaluation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've been able to learn. I hope you're going to go back, not just listening to me, you know. I hope you'll be able to go back and ask yourself that how do I um build my career? What do I need to do? Start asking yourself, okay, this is the career, this is the career path that I've chosen. Now, how do I build it? How do I develop myself on this career path so that I could get to the top of my career? Thank you so much. So, Miss again. during the next episode. I remain my humble self, Oluwashim Famakinwa. Have a great day.